Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. I'm so excited. We're going to be trying out some new products or new to me products. I don't know if they're necessarily new out, but I haven't tried them before and I want to try them. And yeah, that's just what today's video is going to be about. If you haven't seen my previous video before this, testing out the new Jaclyn Hill X Morphe Volume 2 palette, check that out. There is a giveaway on that video. I will link that somewhere on the screen. And you can check that out and still enter that. It's going on. And yeah, thank you so much for coming to watch today's video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and click the bell right down below so you can be notified of all of my future uploads. So I'm going to zoom you in and we're just going to start with these products. So the first product I'm going to use is, it says new. I know I've seen people using this, but this is the CoverGirl True Blend Base Business Skin Primer. And they have like a bunch of different ones, and this is the moisturizing one. So like moisturizing, hydrating one. So that's the first one that I'm going to use. I'm just going to go in with a little bit on my finger, and it's like a white consistency. And just rub that around. It smells really good. It has kind of a little perfumey smell, but it's not bad. And it just goes in and just fills in. Like, it's very smoothing to the skin, even though it's not a pore filling one. I know they do have a pore filling one. It's just not that, but it feels really good on the skin. So yeah, that is looking nice. Next, for foundation, I've heard really good things about this foundation. That's a really good matte foundation. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I'm hoping the shade works. Hot shade M15. I ordered this online, so hoping I shade matched pretty good. And it has a little pump, which I really like. Oh, and a twist. So it twists closed and has a cap. So it's very good for travel because you'll keep your foundations really secure. So with the Blendful, I've been using this glass thing and just putting the foundation onto it. If you've seen my videos, I love the Blendful. I'll link that down below too so you can see how it works. So let's jump in with the Blendful, and I just take one and just kind of pinch it, I guess, a little bit, and just kind of dab onto the palette, and then just run the product along the face. So just like this. Tati did a video showing the technique that she uses, and since she did that, I've kind of been using that technique. Sometimes if I have more time, if I don't, I still kind of put it on my face and just run it all around. But if I have more time, I like to do it this way because I feel like it does give a better look to the skin. So I think this shade's gonna work. It would be, yeah, it looks like it's gonna work. It's hard to tell sometimes. Certain times my skin just feels more tan than others. Lately it's not felt as tan, so just put this foundation on. It definitely is giving me a very matte feel to my skin. There's not a lot of dewy glow to it. I like all different types of foundation finishes. My skin really works with pretty much any type of finish, so it doesn't really matter. It's more about how I prep my skin. So if I'm using more of a matte one, I tend to use more of a hydrating primer. If I'm using more of a dewy, I would tend to use more like a pore filling, just to kind of make them work together in the way that I want it. And this is about 2.5 pumps that I went in, and it is giving a very good coverage to the skin. Let's see if the bottle has any claims. It says it's an oil-free formula. My dog is making the backdrop move. She decided to go past it. But yeah, let me zoom you in even more so you can just really see this foundation on the skin. So you can see it does hide a good amount of redness, but it is definitely very, very matte. I wouldn't call it full coverage. I would say it's more medium to full, and it's buildable is the claim that I would say that this has. It doesn't have any claims on the bottom. Let's see if it has any on the inside. Yeah. So it might have on the website, but on the bottle it doesn't have any claims. So I think it's just a nice matte foundation, which I really like. Now for concealer, I'm so excited to try this. This is the new Zoeva Authentic Skin Perfector Concealer. So I love the Zoeva foundation, the Authentic Skin Foundation. So they kind of kept along with the square bottoms, rectangle look to it. So I really wanted to try this concealer out. I do not know what any of the claims are. I think it's a natural finish just like the foundation is. So I got the shade 030, so actual. Just gonna put this on. It's got a good sized outfit. It's kind of a little on the smaller side. And this definitely has a very yellow undertone to this concealer, but it's very pretty. And it looks a lot lighter in the camera than it's coming off in person. It's definitely not showing as much of that yellowy undertone on the camera as it has in person. It's showing way brighter. So there's that. But I'm just gonna brighten up the face with this. And they did have a good amount of shade range, which is nice. And then I'm just gonna go in with another corner of the blendful, just blend it on out. It's very easy to blend. It's not drying down too fast to where you can't blend it. See how the coverage is once it's all blended out. And I always bring my concealer, if I want to do my eyes first, onto my eyes, and then it just works as kind of a primer for eyeshadow. It's not a full coverage concealer. There's definitely fuller coverage. Like I tried out the Hourglass Vanish concealer recently, and that is way more full coverage. This more gives like a natural finish that I think would work very well with the foundation, since the foundation is a natural luminous finish, and that's kind of what this concealer vibes are giving me. So definitely not that full coverage. It probably, you can build it up a little bit, but then you run into that risk of creasing if you do way too much. But for me, I like it. It still hides my redness right here. It just doesn't hide all the circles as much. But if you get a full night's rest, I don't usually have to deal with that as much. So it's more the redness that I like to make sure is concealed on my cheeks. And I like it to brighten the under eyes as much as possible. And then I also got a darker shade in that to do some cream contouring. So this is the shade 210 Pure. So it's just this nice brownish chocolatey color, light milk chocolate color. I'm just going to take a little bit of this to cream contour. So where I live, they have shut down all the nail salons, all the hair salons, everything. So there's all these memes going around being like, this is what all these people are gonna look like. And they are hilarious. I usually don't have my nails done for work because we're just not allowed to where I work. Well, you are, just not these brighter colors that I have. So I just tend to not do them because I like to have bright colors. So I did them because I'm working from home for a while, and I can easily take this off if we get called back in. But yeah, this coronavirus and everybody working from home, which is the best thing right now, especially with my family. We have people that have immune diseases, so they're in the more at-risk category should they get it. So we're trying to prevent anybody in our household from getting coronavirus. So lots of being at home. But I am so glad I just got my hair done like 2 weeks ago, so I do not have to worry about that, being in that category of all the people who are like, oh my god, I need to get my hair done. So I'm really thankful for that, but it does really suck. I know my hairdresser is one of those ones where it's gonna suck for her because that's how she gets her income. So it is a really hard time for a lot of people not having a job right now. I'm fortunate that my job, I can work from home and get everything I need to get done. Sometimes our connection sucks just because of what I work for, and just having that connection and that VPN not working properly with our work computer. So yeah, but I'm very fortunate, and I know I'm fortunate that I still can work from home, and that I know my job's not going to be affected at all by this. So I do feel for all of those who aren't having their jobs and don't have their jobs right now. It is a trying time, but it's something that is necessary to be done so that we don't have this turn into worse than it is. Since it is such a fast spreading virus, I think that's the biggest thing. It's not necessarily killing more people, or it doesn't have as big of a spread rate as older virus. It's just how it spreads and the unknowns about it, I think, is what is the biggest concern. So for powder, I don't have a new powder. So under the eyes, I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl True Blend Minerals Banana Powder underneath the eyes. And just take a little bit on a brush. I'll just take this under the eyes, and this really brightens up under the eyes without being too crazy. You can see it's still like really bright under the eyes. It doesn't get rid of any of that brightness we put in from the concealer. There are some powders that can just oxidize really badly and just get rid of all that brightness that you just put on your under eyes. So I'm just going to put the banana powder wherever I put that concealer. And I tend to go a little heavier on the tip of my nose, because if I don't, then it gets really oily by the end of the day. For some reason. I have different parts. Most of my skin is pretty dry on a daily basis, except for that. And then for all over the face, I'm just going to go into the translucent shade of that same powder. I really like the translucent for all over the face because it doesn't really change the color of anything, and it has like the tiniest bit of shimmer. So I really like to use it, especially if I'm going to do a matte, like more matte foundation. I like to have just a tiny bit of shimmer just so it's not completely matte all the time. But, so now we are going to jump into the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. I know this isn't brand new, but it's new enough. ColourPop comes out with a new palette like every week, so it's kind of hard to have the latest one. But this is a nice everyday neutrals palette, so I just wanted to go in and test this out. So yeah, this is one of their 30 pan palettes, so they've been trying to do more of their bigger palettes instead of their 9 pans, or their 12 pans is their other standard size. So we're just gonna jump in. The only thing about ColourPop palettes is they usually don't have a mirror on the, except for the 9pan ones sometimes do, but this one does not. So first of all, I'm gonna go in with a nice big fluffy shade into this In the Buff shade right here. Just gonna bring that all over the lid just to really soften up that eye. I'm gonna zoom you in really close so that you can actually see what I'm doing on my eyes. So just bring that color, and this color is really close to my actual skin tone, so you're really not gonna see what it looks like. Just to kind of give a nice base so everything will blend together really smoothly. Still trying to figure out which eye look I'm gonna go for. I think I'm gonna go into this All For You shade. So it's this nice rosy shade right here. And just another fluffy brush. So this is the ColourPop E16. So this is from their brush roll. So you can get the palette and the brush roll in a set together. So that's what I did. It's way cheaper and I really liked it. So just take this shade and just start working it in. And I really love ColourPop eyeshadows for how cheap they are. They are so pigmented and so easy to blend. Like, it is crazy how they're able to do that at such an affordable price. And then you see like more expensive palettes and you're like, this does not blend. There's no pigment. Like, if brands that have it for cheaper can do that, they definitely can if they're charging $50+ for a palette. When this, I think, is, I want to say 30 something. I want to say it's in the $30 range for this palette. And it's 30 shades, so it's almost like $1 something a shade. More expensive palettes can do that. And I just really want to get this color really in there. Just bring it all together. And then to deepen up the crease, I'm going to go in with this Velveteen shade right here on the corner and just deepen up that crease. So this palette has a mix of shimmers, mattes, and like sequiny satin ones. So they're a matte with like some glitter, but they're not super dark. And then just, this is a E17 brush. So it's like this flat, fluffy brush. You can see like it's different. So it's really good at getting into the true crease and not the upper crease. So I really like this brush to deepen up that crease without making that color explode everywhere. So tell me down below, what are all of your thoughts on this coronavirus, and are your cities doing anything, or states, countries doing anything to stop people from doing certain things? I know there's some states, so California, I think Illinois, have essentially told people you can go to work, you can go to the grocery store, you can go outside, but at a distance from people, but you cannot like go shopping in big malls, whatever. You need to stay away from people. You can't have groups of more than 10. So are they doing any of that towards you? And all this, with all this craziness. Also, like, what do the grocery stores look like near you? Because the grocery stores here, there's some things that they have a ton of, like fresh food and everything like that, and then there's some things where you're like, okay, we so need to not save some for other people. So we found some stuff online. We've been trying to do as much shopping as we can online so that we minimize the amount of time we have to go to the grocery store, and only one person in our household goes into a grocery store at a time, just so we can minimize having anything brought into this house. Okay, so next shade I'm going to use is this Taboo shade right here, and just a tiny little like brush like this just on the outer V of the eye. We're going to pack this color on just to deepen up that outer V. I always find it's hard to talk when I'm doing this outer V part because my eyes are more shut than normal, so talking is not always the easiest when I'm trying to concentrate. And then we're going to go back in with that brush that we used for the Velveteen shade and just kind of blend that up top just so it goes together better. Kind of got it going out here a little bit. So I just take the blendful and kind of get that excess off. Just blend it together just so it doesn't look crazy. And then take that same one tiny brush that we used for the Taboo shade, don't add any more, and just kind of add a little bit on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take that same brush for the Velveteen shade and kind of smoke that out a little bit. And smudge it out just to blend the color. And make sure to blend the color with the rest of the eye. Hi, buddy. How are you? My dog's saying hi. He doesn't like to not be near me. And the only time he's fine with that is if there's a fresh bone in his crate. And then he'll live in his crate. He's funny that way. So next up, we are going to do a shade all over the lid. So I'm going to go in with this, I think the Talk shade right here. So this one, I'm going to just take my finger. Just going to do this all over the lid. And then I'm going to take the E17 brush and just kind of run it along the top just to blend that out. And then the E21 brush that we did, the Taboo shade, and just pat it along to blend those colors on the outside. And then I'm going to go in with just a flat brush into the inner part of the lid just to make sure that this shade got all the way in, just to clean it up a little bit. That shade is so pretty, and this palette definitely is everyday makeup. You can do so many different everyday looks with. It's so pretty. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to go into Idle Hour, which is this nice goldeny, sparkly shade. And I'm going to also put this beneath the brow bone. Just nice, light, goldeny, icy shade. That is perfect to complete this like neutral, everyday kind of eye look beneath the brow bone. And I did just put a little bit of tinted brow gel. That's usually all I do for my brows, so just run it through it real quick. And that's how I do my brows on most of the time. Not very high maintenance with my brows since I was blessed with good brows. So, next up, I'm going to throw on a pair of lashes. So these are the Naked Lashes by Ardell, and this is the style 424. So I'm just going to throw these on real quick. So I'm back. The lashes are on. I love these lashes. They've been some of my favorites. I don't have to trim them. They just are very natural looking, especially the 424 ones. I have two other ones of this. So I have the 421, which is like the really out there, the 422, which is kind of like more like wispy, and then these 424s, which are a lot shorter than the other two, and they're just very, very subtle, pretty false lashes. If you can see, I didn't put any liner on, and like you barely can tell that they are false strip lashes. So yeah, and you've seen my videos before, you know that I don't do mascara till after setting spray, so we will do that to blend in and do the bottom lashes later. But the next product that I'm so excited for is the Benefit Cheek Stars Reunion Tour palette. So this has some of the shades I've been wanting to try of certain things. So it says it's 3 blushes. These 3 are technically blushes. This looks more like a bronzer to me, so I'm going to swatch them and see. The Hoola bronzer, so this is a cult favorite, and the Cookie highlighter. I've been wanting to try this in the other palettes that they've had. Zoomed out a little bit. The other palettes that they've had like this, they had the Cookie highlighter in like the darker version. I was like, all the other shades are too dark, and the other one, it wasn't good. So this is like a good for medium skin tones, and they have 2 others that one's good for really lighter skin tones and one's good for darker skin tones. This is perfect for like the medium light to tan skin tone range. So we're gonna swatch these so I can see what they all look like. So this is Dallas. It's supposed to be a blush, but I think I could. So this is a blush, but I honestly think I could use it more as a bronzer. And this is Sugar Bomb. So this is one of the other blushes. So it comes off, you mix them all together, really peachy. Here's the Cookie highlighter. Oh my gosh. No, that's amazing highlighter. Okay. Next up, this Georgia blush looks so pretty. That's the Georgia blush. It's very shimmery, peachy. Like, it's a very light blush. If you can see, it's coming off very light on my skin tone. And then the Hoola, a bronzer. Just the cult favorite. So I think what I'm going to do for bronzer is actually mix the Dallas and the Hoola, just so you could get that shimmer from the Dallas, because it is a very brown looking blush to me. So I'm going to use it as a bronzer. So I'm going to just take another blendful, I love these, and go into Dallas and Hoola. Just take a little bit of both, like this, and kind of dab it on, just to bronze up the cheeks. And that actually gives a very, very pretty bronze look. I am loving that combo together. You get the shimmer and that kind of pinky undertone from the Dallas, and then the Hoola is just that true brown bronzer, but that's matte. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love it. And then just take some of that on the other side, so dab it on. Might have been a little too much, but we'll go and bring this around. So I go in a lot of times with the Blendiful, and then I'll go back through and take a brush like this and just kind of blend it out, just so it's not so harsh, because the Blendiful deposits a ton of products, especially these. They're so pigmented. And just kind of take the brush and blend out. But you can always go back and forth with these. But I love the way this looks. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. It's such a pretty color. And essentially I'm just doing my makeup for this video and not going anywhere. So you get to see all the fun stuff that I'm excited for. And then I'm going to take just a brush and go into Hoola, and we're going to contour, even though our cheeks are looking pretty good right now. Just a little bit. And just really contour that in. And then I go back in with that bronzer brush just to kind of blend it. And take this tiny flat brush and take it along the nose just to contour out the nose. And I just go in with some random, just a little bit. Try not to take the side that already has bronzer. Just kind of dab that out just to blend it out. And then I'm going to take a nice angled brush into, I think I'm going to go into Georgia. It's screaming my name, that blush. I was almost going to call it a highlight. But just working the blush on. And looks very subtle. It's like a shimmery, subtle blush. And this palette smells so good. Oh my gosh. It smells good. Take a little bit more. Just a very, very subtle everyday blush. And it has a little bit of shimmer to it. So you could use it as a highlight if you wanted. If you wanted like a subtle highlight. But we're not. We're going to use it as a blush. Just bring it in. I like that. Okay. To highlight, I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush into the Cookie shade. So the only highlighter in here. Just put this on. It's probably going to be blinding, which I love. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like icy, pinky, gold. Like, so pretty. Look at that highlight. It's blinding. So I would highly recommend this palette. So good. Pretty much all of the products I've used so far, I would recommend. They all are amazing how they worked. So next up for setting spray, I'm so excited to try this out. This is the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. So it looks like this. I've never actually tried the original setting spray. It's weird, but I haven't. I've been a Urban Decay all-nighter go-to. I'll try other ones here and there, but I always go back to that. But I've heard this is very good, so we're gonna test it out. I can't tell. Looks like there might be a little bit of shimmer to it, but we'll see. the spritzer to work. Oh my god, that smells so good, and the mist on it is such a fine mister. Like, that is crazy. And it smells so good. It reminds me of summertime. So if this works, I will definitely be using this product all the time. So that is all of the products I have. I'm going to finish up the face, do some mascara and lips, and come back and tell you my thoughts on all these products. So this is the completed look that I get using all of these new products. I definitely, if I had to pick like just 2 products from what I tried out, it would be the Benefit Cheek Stars Reunion Tour palette, because you just have so many options with this. It just is beautiful for bronzer, blush, and highlight. And then I would also recommend the Luminous Setting Spray for like a cheap setting spray option. But any of the products I used today, I loved them. They were amazing products. The Bare Necessities palette is a great everyday palette. Even if you're a makeup artist, this is like a good one, especially for like weddings and stuff. This is like a perfect palette you can take to do weddings. But yeah, I definitely would recommend any of these products. They were amazing. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.